Buongiorno a tutti, siamo a Madrid al Veeva Summit in compagnia di Martin Helling, Executive Director, Program Manager of Medicine Platform di Boehringer Ingelheim. Benvenuto.
Buongiorno Anna.
Faremo alcune domande per capire meglio di come funziona One Medicine Platform e della relazione che l'azienda ha con Veeva. Martin, welcome again. So, how does IT and the technology it provides help Boehringer business and patients?
That's a very good question, because whatever we do is supported by information technology. So we at Boehringer Ingelheim, we are currently looking, and in general looking, to provide unmet needs of patients. Yeah. And we have currently a very promising pipeline. So we want to leverage around about 25 products until the end of the decade. So that is quite a challenge for us. So one thing, in order to be faster to bring the products to our patients, is to increase the speed in the submission to the authorities from the beginning of the clinical trial. So this is what we did with the One Medicine platform. We were looking from setup of clinical trials, execution of them, and submitting them, including also all qualitative aspects. So, and with the One Medicine platform, we replaced currently already 20 old systems. Wow. We have 15 more in the pipeline that will be decommissioned over the next months and years. So around about 35 systems will be decommissioned. Wow. So this is, from an IT perspective, an easy landscape that we will get to maintain also when it comes to support activities. And perhaps a little bit more as an extension, because the One Medicine Platform program is different than other projects and programs we did in the past. In the past, we always thought, okay, business, you give us the processes that you would like to have, and we are going to implement that with a technology. Yeah. We did it different this time. We said, what is really important for us, what is a competitive advantage in the industry? That is research, that is sales, marketing. Submission medicine is not normally a competitive advantage. If you have a good standard, it's good enough. We recognized our standard was not good enough. So we said, okay, we change it. We don't ask the business, because just replacing 20, 35 systems and just doing the same very complex process then in the end-to-end environment doesn't help. So we said, whatever we are getting as standard is good enough for us. So, and this simplified the end-to-end process dramatically for us.
Yeah.
So, and this
makes everything work better in a way, and more efficiently maybe, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And so, at the high level, what is Boehringer One Medicine Platform, and what role did your team play in making it a reality?
So basically, yes, I already told what exactly it is. But the interesting thing is we were around about 400 people. So we started on 4th of April 2022. We kicked it off. We had a phase 0 where we looked at how do we want to implement it. In September, we really started it off. We had a couple of intermediate go-lives. We started everything at the same time because that was the idea of a platform.
Sure.
Because if you want to do it in a sequence, that means if you make a mistake, for example, in the data model in the beginning, you can't change it afterwards. No. So we did everything in parallel, kicking it off. And then we had a couple of go-lives in between because of specific reasons. For example, complexity of the system. So as we implemented the clinical data management, the clinical operations, the quality and the regulatory area, the clinical data management was the easiest, less complex, plus we needed to replace a legacy system. So we went live already 6 months, 9 months after the kickoff. The next one was from the was the quality vault, because we recognized also complexity is not so difficult. So we went live, and we learned while we were going with the go lives how to set up the run organization, how to tackle tickets that are coming in. And it's also better if you are not ramping up the whole support organization in one shot. So this was an easy ramp up and learnings that could influence the next go lives. And in November last live, we did the both biggest, most complex one, which was regulatory affairs and clinical operations, because we needed most of the time.
Sure.
Plus, we required a connector between these two. So this was a necessity that these two go at the same time live.
Oh, wow. Well, which was a great work, you know, learning by doing, basically. And so what prompted Boehringer Ingelheim to strengthen its collaboration with Veeva for its One Medicine platform?
Yeah, and that was important that we strengthened the collaboration. We could not deliver the whole platform on its own. As I said, 400 people.
Yeah.
It's like you have to have specific skills in different areas. So that is the reason why we partnered up with two companies. So, okay, business know-how, general IT know-how, how we doing things within Boehringer Ingelheim, we know. But then we need capacities of doing it. That is why we hired on one end Cognizant, and then on the other side, we really required Veeva to help us with the configuration. They know their system the best. And whenever we had questions also about the processes itself, we could always go back to them. What is the best industry standard that you are using? Because you have access to all of the companies that are on your vaults. So you know what works and what does not work.
Yeah, so if you have to summarize, for instance, what do you think are the most advantages that you gain from this collaboration, basically, with Veeva?
Yeah, it's the know-how about the configuration and about the processes, because nobody knows their systems better than Veeva themselves.
Yeah.
And that speeds up the whole process. If you need to do several cycles, because you're failing, you need to redo, that costs time. And this is what we didn't want to have, not of an extension. We want to do everything quite fast, 4 vaults in 2 years. This is really quite challenging.
Which actually you did, because you launched like quite
November.
soon, in November.
So this is, and it's the first in the industry that implemented 4 vaults in parallel. So it was never done. I was 2 years ago at the Veeva Summit. Already in a keynote speech explaining what we are planning to do. A lot of companies were coming afterwards and saying, I mean, one side it's smart. Like I said, with the data model, we did everything in a sequence, and we recognized things we did in the beginning were later on mistakes, but we could not reverse. So we needed to live with workarounds. But on the other side, it's so much risk to do 4 at the same time. I said, but on the other side, if you want to do it right, and if you want to increase speed, do it bold. So I think we were some sort of guinea pigs, but it worked out. So, and we were confident, otherwise we wouldn't have done it.
Which is the main thing sometimes, right? So, in light of the increasing digitalization in pharma, how does Boehringer Ingelheim view the evolving role of technology, especially AI?
This is something very, very important. What you need to have before you apply AI, you need to have the right data. So the One Medicine platform is just one puzzle piece in the strategy. So as I said before, we are replacing several systems, means we have all of a sudden one cohesive data set. We have one database, if you would like to call it, always accessible. So it's easy to work with this data instead of getting connections to 35 databases, getting the data out, mingling it, I do not know, different data systems. A data attribute might be defined differently. So this is the first thing that you need to have. Data that you understand and with which AI can work properly. So, and we have things around. As Veeva is just announcing that they're working with inbuilt AI, with agent and so on, we have our own AI environment where we are working on data models in order to gain insights. So we have what we call Boehringer Ingelheim Data Land. So we are doing it now on our own, But if we would have the capabilities already inbuilt in Veeva, and let's see what comes in there, that would be super.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're looking at the overall development, I mean, we are talking currently at the trial submission. When you're looking at the overall process from the early stages, when you try to develop research and development, when you're looking at the cost of new products, it's like per stage they are exponentially growing. So that means AI can help you, especially, and this is what we are looking in other projects within Boehringer, in early stages to figure out which of the APIs, the active pharma ingredients, could be worth to go into the next stages, also then into the clinical trials, because you can save so much money. If you can delete 20% of the low expectations to be successful, you can save a lot of money. So AI is such an important topic.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, everything comes from the data collection out, right?
It's absolutely right. If you have a large language model that you train it with the data. If the data is not good, if the data is not correct, you have an issue, because then the large language model gives you the wrong direction, gives you the wrong answers.
Yeah.
So that is the reason why the One Medicine platform helps us in gathering the data also to train later on our large language models, the AI.
Yeah. So I have two more questions. So what are the top considerations for pharma IT teams to make an implementation of, but we already, in a way, replied to this question, of Veeva Development Cloud a success?
Yeah. So I think the biggest consideration is the bigger you make it, the more platform you have. The data structure and the databases will just get bigger. So it has this data aspect, plus it has the aspect of the processes I said before, because we were very slow, and overall we are now submitting a couple of 100 days, so probably 1 year faster. OMP, the One Medicine platform, is only one part of it. We streamline processes and so on, but we are submitting now much faster than we used to submit in the past. So it's the processes topic, it's the innovation topic. So that was our thought about implementing a platform.
Yeah, so as you say, it speed up a little bit the process and the workflow and everything in a way, right?
Yeah, if you're looking also from business perspective, they are looking at process efficiency. So when I talk with the clinical guys, they say, okay, we have now already 7% faster process execution. And when it comes to data checks, they said we have an 80% increase of efficiency there, because the data itself, the database it's clean.
Yeah.
And so this is the things that count at the end.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So looking to the future, which benefits do you hope to gain from your ongoing collaboration with Veeva?
So one of the reasons, beside implementing a platform, with reducing the amount of systems, was that Veeva has a good partnership with us in order to have innovation. So one reason for selecting Veeva was also that they have 3 releases per year. When we say, okay, we are even forced to implement something new, which is good. Besides what we also would like to implement, this is always possible. So it's really the innovation piece. But when we are looking at the normal standard releases, like incremental things getting better, I think what is a game changer, what Veeva just announced and released, was the AI topic, where we need to look now into it. How much can that help us to develop? I mean, working with agents at a certain point of time makes life much, much easier. So this is really what we are looking for. Just brand new, so we need to see what comes out of it. But this is what we really expected and were hoping for. It's not only this every 3 months or 4 months a new release. It's like these boom things that elevates your performance to another level and not incrementally.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Martin. And
Prego.
grazie mille a tutti.